Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on the topic of signs that you're truly beginning to heal from a psychopathic or narcissistic relationship. And before we do that, I want to try to zoom in for you on this gray heron bird over here. I'm going to try to expand on that. See if we can do that. Will it not let me? It will not let me. There's a very cool sort of tall blue-gray bird over there. I think it's called a gray heron. So anyway, in the nature sanctuary here, signs you are beginning to heal after a psychopathic or narcissistic relationship. For one, you have found an internal locus of control. An internal locus of control essentially means that you understand and feel and resonate that the control of your emotions, your self-worth, your pleasure in life, your connection to what is meaningful, the pursuit of your goals, and that which you act by, which you believe by, and you feel by, is coming from an internal locus of control. That means it is within you, within your heart. It's not based on pleasing somebody else, trying to impress somebody else, prove something to somebody else. Oftentimes, one of the key complaints, I think, of people who have experienced narcissistic and psychopathic abuse is that they have completely lost a sense of their self. They've lost a sense of their identity. They've lost a sense of who they are. Really, the feeling of control has been given up to somebody else. In other words, they were made vulnerable. They were taken advantage of. They were exploited. Meanings were twisted around in their brain. They went through extreme adrenal fatigue and exhaustion trying to meet the needs of this psychopath, being essentially drained out, being wrung out, emotionally tapped. To the point where they really had, no real sense of internal locus of control. They had really essentially sacrificed themselves, almost literally like a human sacrifice. And I think I had a viewer here who said that the depersonalization truly is demonic. And if you think about it, this is a very strong statement, but really what the psychopath does, they require you to sacrifice so much of yourself for their needs. They take you over in such a way, really, which the normal person is not capable of creating. I would say that type of brainwash and control and manipulation over others. The psychopath has within their etiology a language style that causes them to overcome, basically overtake others, such as we see in the horrors of Jim Jones and that Jonestown massacre, the likes of Hitler, other psychopathic situations where that person, these people are completely, beyond their senses. They're so depersonalized, they're so manipulated, they're so taken advantage of that they really lose a sense of really their own right or wrong, and really are not able to take care of themselves. And so emerging from that psychopathic relationship, thank God, is really quite a journey. And so knowing that you have found, that you're no longer living to impress, or sacrifice your values for another. You don't need to impress other people. You're not listening to music that takes you out of your peace and serenity. You're learning to, you place more value on the things that you have, your feelings of peace, the feelings of the sentiment of connection to creation, the beauty of a flower, the act that you can be stopped for a moment and see the beauty of a flower, the beauty of a graceful bird in flight, the feeling of a light breeze and how it cools you just right, the connection between the strength of a tree. You know, you realize that a 200-year-old tree, a 300-year-old tree has so much strength and wisdom. You're able to connect to deeper meanings in life that are truly yours. No one has to tell you, you know, that you believe in something good. You believe in something good, and you do this for yourself. You have a sense of certainty, a sense of knowing, a sense of connection. It's something personal to you now. No one has tried to persuade you or, you know, tried to, you know, manipulate you into otherwise. So, and you feel that you now are more in control of your body. Perhaps your diet has changed. The music that you listen to has changed. You're now sensitive and aware of how music tries to get people to act erratically, or possessions causes people to act erratically. How, you know, pursuit of greed causes people to act erratically. You realize, you know, where people come apart in life. You're you know, gaining a sense of perspective and healing and understanding. You realize that material wealth is not where it's all at. That is a very true sign of healing. That you're not after certain types of relationships anymore. They no longer impress you. These people who think that they are the end-all be-all. The psychopathic, the narcissistic, the people who think that they're better than others. You're no longer attracted to these types of people. You now have a sensitivity in your heart for people in need, for people who, you know, really have a human struggle and a human story. Now that's fulfilling and gratifying for you, not being swept off of your feet by some sort of illusion or romance story. You now value truth over lies. You now value integrity and wholeness rather than just being in relationships. You realize that you are more important than taking care of other people, because in the end, you have to take care of yourself, and you ultimately have to answer to yourself and your higher creator. In that you now live by day and coming closer to that reality, and you will no longer accept being abused. You will no longer accept the hostility that separates you between you and your happiness. So your episodes of happiness become more and more. Your happiness and your feeling of peace is increased on a day-by-day basis. You no longer have episodes of doubt. You no longer have episodes of negative thinking. You're no longer frustrated by the small and minuscule things, because you realize that you have control over your emotions, and you're connected to really a sense of internal control, that internal locus of control. And you set your pace, you set the tone in your life. You're living life on your terms, and terms that make sense, not terms that are meant to confuse you and manipulate you and control you anymore. You're able to see clearly, and you're able to do what brings you joy and happiness. And you don't have to explain yourself, and you don't have to justify your happiness to others. You can just be at one, you can be happy, you can enjoy contentment, and you no longer need to fill a void, because there is no void in you. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.